Okay.
This is, and I wanted to get you a good angle.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, the girls are right there.
Appreciate the thing.
And that said, we're actually asking this question for an 11-year-old boy.
Okay.
So we probably won't go any further with the girls.
Okay.
My coworker has a son.
Okay.
He's actually started becoming interested in the idea of writing. It's been something that's been sticking with him for a while.
All right.
She thinks that he doesn't understand how hard and difficult the whole thing is. When she describes it, it also, to me, I hear he also possibly just doesn't have writers or anything around him to give him an idea of where he needs to start with his ideas. So, in a non-dream crushing way, I was at that lunch. I was at the Dream Crusher lunch.
That's very true.
Yeah. So, what would you say?
Absolute Right, WRITE, watercooler.com, or forums. It is the largest author's education and watchdog site on the net. It is so important that I gave them a shout out in acknowledgments in my first published novel. Everything you need to learn is there. They have a children's section for children's writers. Not just people writing for children, but they have a whole group that for the young writers. So that kids from his age on up to about 19, 20. And then they move over to the adult side. But there are lots of kids there. And there's tons of published authors, agents, editors, publishers, and so forth that are on there. Many of the editors are there under pseudonyms because they don't want to be inundated, but they're there giving their expertise. There are even a few entertainment-type lawyers that are there that will give very careful, this is not me saying this, but you should check this out kind of advice. It's a wonderful place to home craft. It's a wonderful place to learn. As with anything online, there's trolls and there's flame wars and there's lunatics you have to learn who to ignore. It's fairly easy to figure out who to pay attention to. You should look for their signature lines. Are there books that you've ever heard of? Do they work for a publisher that you've heard of? Do they do these things? So it's a very actually easy way to do it. They are very good at self-policing. Abuse gets handled. So that's where I send everybody of any age. Absolute Right, WRITE, Water Cooler, or Absolute Right forums. It's free, and that's where you should spend your time. And that way you are surrounded with like-minded people at any time of day or night, and you can get answers, you can find information, there's tons of stuff, and it's very welcoming. And you find out pretty fast what the business is like, what the creative side of the business is like, too.
And as far as has his mother said that he probably doesn't understand how difficult it is, any insight as to how difficult it is to be a writer?
Well, to write is not difficult at all. To become a successful published author is very difficult. Okay, so to write, sit down on your butt and write with a pen, with a pencil, on a computer, on your iPad, whatever. The actual writing itself, writing is not hard. Crafting a really good piece of some form of literature, that's hard. Okay, at 11, I don't think he needs to worry about that. To be brutally honest, okay? I think at 11, continue to have fun with it. Right, if you're really concerned about your craft, again, absolute right. If you're saying, I'm going to be a writer and make millions and millions of dollars, your name is not Stephen King or J.K. Rowling, and it's not going to happen. It may happen, and I wish it for you to happen, but it's very, very difficult. It is a slow business. It is filled with a lot of rejection, a lot of negative, and not nearly as much money as Castle makes it look like. So it is not romantic. It is not exotic. As my husband can tell you, most days I'm in my pajamas 24/7. Because they're more comfortable to write in, okay? You know, look at all pretty, takes time, effort, and work. Okay, question. Oh,